My loves, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new. Somehow we are already at the stage where we have to pick our May TBR, which where is this year going, honestly? I feel like I just filmed my April TBR video like 2 days ago. April was a really good reading month. I read so many books that I was dying to get to. So I am super excited to go in and pick my reads for May. I have a few arcs on my TBR that I would absolutely love to get. I've got some series I would love to put on my TBR so I can finish them this month. Very big with the series one. I feel like that's my biggest goal going into May. But we also have so many new releases in May. As I said, I have a few arcs I'd love to get to, so I'm excited about this TBR. I think we've got a lot of possibility. We're gonna be letting our TBR jar pick our reads for the month. Now look, I am more than happy to do some different ways of picking my TBR every month. I have just been doing this because you guys seem to really enjoy these prompts. I like to add some prompts that you give me into these jars. I do think I'm in need of a top up, so I might have to top it up after this TBR. But I love doing this, so if you guys are happy with this, I'm more than happy to stick to it. But if you wanna see some other things, I don't know what we could do. We used to do spinning wheel all the time. I don't know, maybe we could do like a rogue month and let like booktubers choose. Something like that might be fun. So yeah, let me know if you want me to change it up. But as for today, we're gonna be sticking with the TBR jar. I think we're gonna pick 5 prompts. So that's been a really good number. I also have my Patreon book club pick that I'll be adding. This month it is Dungeon Crawler Carl, which I am so intrigued about. I've been seeing so many people read it and rave about it, and it's not my usual cup of tea. Like, I know it's a kind of satire, comedy type fantasy. No idea what I'm gonna think of it, but that is on my TBR for the month already. But let's pick our next reads. Well, let's choose our first one. I'm gonna get really like down there. I wanna get one that I might not have picked. Let's go with this one. Our first prompt is a book with a cover I don't like. This is very much me judging books by covers, but kind of for the opposite reason. This is interesting. Usually I like book covers. I'm not too picky. Let me have a look, I guess. I've got to be completely honest with you guys. I don't really buy a book if I don't like the cover. I'll just read it on my Kindle. So very limited options for this one. This one is technically from the library, but I've been kind of getting books at the end of each month so I can make my TBR with those in mind, like getting books from the library. This is Dawnshard by Brandon Sanderson. This is actually part of the Stormlight Archives. It is book 3.5, so it is the novella that you read in between Oathbringer and Rhythm of War. I am dying to go on to Rhythm of War, but I do want to read this one first, and I feel like the last novella I read by Brandon Sanderson was really great. I had a really fun time, and it's a very little short one. I just think the cover's boring. You know, I feel like Brandon Sanderson has some really cool covers. This isn't living up to much. This is pretty boring. Don't hate it by any means, but it's kind of boring. I don't know whether to read this out to you. I don't think it's a spoiler by any means because we're kind of just following characters from the Stormlight Archive, but I'm not sure that a lot of it is gonna make sense. So I'll just read a little bit, I guess, because the novellas basically allow you to learn more about characters you might see later in the books. That's what I'm gathering, at least. When a ghost ship is discovered, its crew are presumed dead after trying to reach the storm-shrouded island of Akina. Akina is a dangerous place, draining the magic of knights who fly too close. Navini Colin must send an expedition to ensure the island hasn't fallen into enemy hands. So obviously we do have characters from our Stormlight Archive, and if you've read it, you'll know. Easy choice, I guess. The only other one that like I feel like is a bit boring as well is Don't Let Them Leave by Mike Lucas. This is a thriller sent to me by Penguin. When is this published? It says population date is May 5th. I love a good thriller, okay? But I just feel like this is your typical kind of thriller cover. It says 1 island, 1 house, 1 curse. Ghosts aren't real and houses can't come to life. Charlotte knows these facts to be true. Yet when she, Jack and Emily are orphaned and sent to live with their grandma on their remote black island, Charlotte begins to realize that only one thing is certain. They shouldn't be there. But will they be able to leave? I don't know why, but it's giving Shutter Island, especially the cover. Like it's very much giving Shutter Island. Look, I am definitely drawn to a thriller. I would like to get a thriller on my TBR for this month, but I think we're gonna go with Dawnshard because I do really need to read this month and I wanna continue this series, and it's a very boring cover as much as I love Brandon Sanderson. So yeah, we're gonna go with Dawnshard. I really didn't have much for that prompt. Hopefully our next one I have more. And in saying that, our next one will be, let's go with this one. A free pick. I have never gotten one of these prompts. This is exciting. I have so many options. See, there are a few I am very much drawn to. Number 1, The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This is, I also got this from the library. This is the second book to the Poppy War. I read the Poppy War last month, obsessed with it. Cannot wait to continue this series. A little bit nervous. This is definitely a chunky read. How much is it? It's 650. I feel like it looks bigger than that. Kind of looks like around the 700, 800 mark, but definitely a chunkier read. If you don't know what the Poppy War is, I'm sure you do. But the first one, like the entire series, is a historical fiction trilogy. Historical fiction? No, historical fantasy trilogy. We are based off the Opium Wars, and we are following our main protagonist, Rin. She's kind of orphaned and lives in this really awful place, and she's trying to train and study up to get into this soldier academy, essentially, which trains you to be good in like war strategies, fighting, everything like that. Basically a soldier for the war. We are set in a very war-torn world. So obviously, amazing option. Option number 2. This arrived in the mail like 2 days ago, and I'm really intrigued by it. It is called Riftborn, and it is a co-authored, I think, by Greenwich and Lennox. So it is co-authored, which I haven't read a co-authored book in a hot minute. The little note that they sent with me, this is from Penguin, said, Freya, welcome to your new obsession. I hope you love this slow burn enemies to lovers romantasy. I have it on good authority that book 2 is even better than book 1. So luckily you'll only have to wait till July to continue on. I really don't know what it's about, but I haven't read a romantasy. I read one romantasy last month. It says, Fear Riftborn has 3 important lessons for survival. Keep your head down, don't draw attention to yourself, and avoid the God at all costs. I don't know how to pronounce that. You guys know, I'm terrible with my pronunciation. But after a simple errand goes awry and her explosive powers erupt, Fia knows she can no longer hide in the shadows. The swift punishment she expected never materializes. Instead, the elusive General Lark Ashford offers her a choice: join the guard or face execution. Fia must choose between surrendering to the chaos within or becoming a weapon in the hands of those who took everything from her. It sounds just like a fun romantasy to me. I am mainly drawn by this cover because this arc is stunning. So option 2. Option 3 we won't spend too much time on. It's Clockwork Angel. It's the second one. You guys know I love this series, and I reread the first one a few months ago, and I've been really wanting to reread the second one. I feel like that's all I need to say on this one. The fourth option, I got sent this one as well. It is Carly Fortune Perfect Storm. I've never read a Carly Fortune. What I did want to check is that if this is a standalone, because I know some of her other books haven't been standalones, like you're meant to read one before the other. So let me check. It says it's technically a standalone following a new set of characters, but I don't know if that means it's still interconnected to her other books. So it says 2 best friends, 7 days in paradise, one last chance to fall in love or fall apart. Frankie and George have been best friends since they were 8, so the friends to lovers, I'm guessing. They've always clashed and come back together. That's what they do. Until now. On the eve of her wedding, Frankie doesn't know where they stand or even if George will show up as her best man. As she loses hope, in walks George. For one glorious evening, Frankie's life is finally perfect, but it all comes crashing down when her fiancé dumps her the next morning, leaving only a note behind. Crushed and confused, Frankie only wants to wallow, but George has a different idea. He wants to go on her honeymoon with him. He wants her to go on her honeymoon with him. For 1 week to the lush rainforests and misty beaches of Tofino. Frankie agrees, seeing the trip for what it really is. One last chance to repair their friendship, even if that means unearthing secrets and long-buried feelings neither knows how to handle. Look, I actually really want to read some Carly Fortune. Please let me know if I should read her other books first. So I'm a little bit confused. I think, guys, I am seriously most drawn to the Poppy War. I think we're gonna have to go with the second book, Dragon Republic. I think this is gonna be a wild ride, but I think it's gonna be worth it. So yeah, let's go with this one, shall we? Part of me was like, do I put on Rhythm of War there? But we've already got a, I don't know, guys, I don't know when to read that. Let's pick our third prompt. Over 400 pages. Probably didn't need another massive book. I think I've got 2 options that are both I'm really drawn to. Number 1 is I actually got an arc for The Wretch Divine by Adeline Grace. I'm so excited about this. This is an angel fantasy. So the only thing that I don't like, guys, look how small this font is. Do you want to see, like, okay, you ready? Standard, normal font size. Can you see the difference? I can. Ugh, my eyes are gonna hurt. Oh well. This is definitely over 400 pages. Oh, only just 494. So ticks the box, but only just. Let me introduce you to this. Aurelia was born to serve, raised as a knight in a kingdom ravaged by demons. She spent her life honing her blade, driven by the memory of those monsters who tore her family apart, and by the knowledge that she's one of the only few who can stop them. If Aurelia can claim her first kill, she'll inherit a legacy passed down through Chantaloon bloodline, a soul-bound bound with Uriel, an angel whose power is vital to her kingdom's survival. But when those she loves begin turning into the very monsters she's sworn to destroy, Aurelia is forced to seek help from the last place she'd ever imagined. Desperate, she forges a second and far more dangerous bond with Severin, a demon she can hardly trust, but who claims to know how to end the war for good. Stop it right now. That sounds so good. This one is The Graceless Heart. Now, I actually am leaning towards this one. As good as this sounds, this has been on my physical TBR for a hot minute now, and I feel like we should give it a chance. We still have room to put this on there, by the way. Not all hope is lost. I feel like I've read this one out numerous times, so I think I'm just gonna give a summary. But this is an ancient Italian inspired fantasy romance. We are set in Florence and we have a trials aspect. We are following our protagonist Ravenna, who basically enters a competition to help save her brother. I feel like I'm gonna have to go with The Graceless Heart just because I've been wanting to read this for such a long time. No, a few months, but like feels like a very, very long time. And I have never read an Italian inspired fantasy romance. So I really want to. So I think we're gonna go with this one. I also know you guys have been wanting me to read this one for a hot minute. So yeah, let's go with The Graceless Heart. I'm excited about that. Very big fantasy lineup so far. Okay, we are up to our 4th prompt. Just grab, oh, we've got 2, but no. A book I've been avoiding. This one's interesting. There's one, but I'm not sure that I can read it. Like, I'm trying to be realistic here. I'm trying to be like, what can I actually read in the month of May? Because I could put Rhythm of War on there, but that's a little bit mean to myself. That's a big book. As much as I would love to get to it, I'm trying to be realistic, guys. Okay, so as I said, that like I could theoretically do Rhythm of War. What I would love to do is just like surprise you guys and be like, oh my God, guys, I read with Rhythm of War. Like that would be crazy. Like I really want to start it, but I definitely have to read that novella first. So as much as I would love to, hopefully I will come to you at the end of May and be like, I've started it or I finished it. One that I have been avoiding for like years now is Whisper by Lynette Noni. This is a dystopian YA book. I have just been avoiding this because it is very similar to the premise of Shatter Me. I'll read the back, but it says for 2 years, 6 months, 14 days, and 11 hours and 16 minutes, subject 684 Jane Doe has been locked away and experimented on without uttering a single word. As Jane's resolve begins to crack under the influence of her new and unexpectedly kind evaluator, she uncovers the truth about Lengard's mysterious program, discovering that her own secret is at the heart of a sinister plot, and one wrong move, one wrong word could change the world. I think just because it sounds a little bit like Shatter Me, and Shatter Me wasn't my favorite, I also feel like dystopian books are very much like a hit or miss for me, but it is Lynette Noni, and I love Lynette Noni, like you guys know that. So maybe I should give this one a go. Definitely one I've been avoiding for a long time. I'm gonna have a quick look on my Kindle to see if there's anything else. Sometimes for these prompts, like I forget every single book I haven't read, if you know what I mean. Like I'm just like, wow, there's no books that fit this prompt. I literally just sat and stared at my bookshelf for a good few minutes before I came up with Whisper. Yeah, I can't really see any, I mean, there's Fable, but that's just been kind of mentally avoiding it for a long time now. And I do have an R.F. Kuang book already, so probably not that one. The other option, oh my gosh, there is another option, guys, I could do is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. This is the second book to Red Rising. I recently did my reread of Red Rising because I read it ages ago, didn't love it, tried to give it another chance because I really want to get into the series because I know that everyone says the first book is like the worst and then the rest, like not that it's a bad book, but the rest just gets so much better. So I've been really trying to give it a second chance. So I could go with Golden Sun, which in case you didn't know is the second book to Red Rising, which is a sci-fi fantasy series. I think we should go with Whisper though, if we're gonna be true. This is a book I've genuinely been avoiding for years and it's been on my physical TBR for years as well, which is a big thing. Let's go with that. We've got a lot of like cohesive books going on. All right, one more prompt. Let's make it a good one, shall we? Oh, it's so little. A 3-word title. I actually really struggle with these ones because they're like harder than they look. Oh, hey, The Wretched Divine. That's 3, that's an option. Let's see what else we have. I'm tempted to do Rhythm of War. No, or The Wretched Divine. But maybe for funsies, let's have a little look at my electronic TBR, shall we? Oh, My Husband's Wife. That's one by Alice Feeney I have been super intrigued about. It's a thriller, so that could break it up. That might be a good one to do actually, especially because we have some longer books, but we also have some shorter ones. Is it Rights of Starling? That's the second book to Shield of Sparrows. That's an option as well. Is it Rights of the Starling. Damn, okay. See, this is what I mean. Fury Bound, 2 words. I know that's not quite out yet. Does that come out this month or next? Golden Sun, that doesn't work either. See, this is what I mean. It's like a weirdly hard amount of words. When you have like a specific amount, oh, the Dragon Republic would have been perfect. When you have a specific amount of words, it's actually really hard to get like the exact amount. I don't think we have that many options. I think I am going to go with, do I want to do my Alice Feeney book or do I want to do, let's do The Wretch Divine, I think, because it's on my physical TBR. I really wanted to get to this in autumn as well, and it is currently autumn. This isn't coming out until October as well, so it's an incredibly early arc, which I am so beyond like thankful for. I love my angel demon romances, okay? I love them. Which is like, brings us to a pretty solid TBR. Every single one is a fantasy of some kind, which is a lot. I'm so sorry. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I know you guys know I love fantasy, and I'm sure you come here to get fantasy recommendations, but I still feel bad when I'm like, all I'm gonna be reading in the month of May is fantasy books. No, I'll try to break it up, but yeah, that's a lot of fantasy. Let's go through it, shall we? So first of all, we have Dawnshard by Brandon Sanderson, a very little book, and I'm very happy about it. I'm gonna get this out of the way so quickly because I'm so excited to read it. And will we go on to, no. I should stop saying that I'm gonna read Rhythm of War in case I don't, but I want to. The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. Very emotionally ready for this one. I've prepared myself enough, I think. The Graceless Heart by Isabel Ibanez. I am so excited to read this one. Somebody blurbed, Rachel Gillig and Ava Reed both blurbed this and like quoted for it. So that's a good sign for me. Obviously we have Whisper by Lynette Noni. I know a few of you will be happy that I'm finally putting this on my TBR. Some of you have been really wanting me to read this, so that's for you. And then of course The Wretch Divine by Adeline Grace. So overall, actually like really cohesive looking TBR. Hang on, let me show you. Like, look how pretty that looks, you know? We've got some good vibes going on here. I think 5 will be good. I think this is a good amount of books. It also gives me a little bit more free reign to read when I'm mood reading, because you all know I'm a big mood reader. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm excited to get into them. But yeah, let me know some books you're excited to get into for the month of May. I can't believe we are already in May. And if you've watched till the end, thank you so much. It truly means the absolute world to me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.